Test, test. Can you talk for me?
Yeah, hey, bop, bop, bop. Yay!
Double check something. That I've actually pressed record. Here we go.
Nice.
Brendon, so good to see you
What's
in the
up, buddy?
flesh. How's Edinburgh going for you? How's the Fringe? How's being here in Scotland, escaping America?
Yeah, being an American refugee. Yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. Audiences have been good. They've been responsive. I think people are kind of ready to commiserate Americans and Brits both with. I think the thing that's nice is that there is an amount of. I think that both Americans have been afraid of non-Americans because if they come over here, they're like afraid that people are going to hate us. And then I think that British people have been afraid of Americans because they're like, you guys have gone crazy. And so it's nice to have a show where they can sit in the same room and be like, no, we actually agree. Like, this is nuts. So yeah, it's been well received. It's been a lot of fun.
That's good. So so what are you going to take back? Like, I know it's early days still here, but have you discovered something that you're like, right, everyone else I know in America needs to know this?
Yeah, I think, man, I mean, it's funny to talk about because it's like, I don't know if anybody in America I don't know if anybody's going to listen. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I'm terrified of. But the truth is, I think the British word nonce is really good because I think that Americans have this concept of like, we can't talk about Trump being a nonce because it's just too heavy. Like, it's too serious. But like in the British media, that word is thrown around all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that we could learn to do that because it actually would ridicule him and I think the people around him in a way that frankly needs to happen.
So you feel back at home then the truth is just being silenced through the non-use of particular words?
Yeah, I think that it's weird, man, because I think that it's hard for me. I don't really believe in conspiracies almost by definition. I just don't think a lot of them exist. But I just think that we're living in a very weird time. Like, in the future, people are going to look back at this time in the United States. They're going to be like, why did this was crazy. Like, these people lost their minds for a while. And I think it's because people exist in a certain kind of bubble, and they're continuously fed things that reinforce their worldview. And so, like, the fact that, like, there is an overwhelming amount of evidence that, like, Trump has done some really heinous things, people don't want to pay attention to. So because of that, they're not talked about in the main media because, like, they're trying to capture an audience, and it's impossible for them to do that when they're saying things that audience isn't going to like. And so they don't want to say anything true controversial because they don't want to lose viewership. Those people are going to migrate to somewhere else. And that's, I actually think, kind of a problem.
So for me, I often think actually my audience is somewhere in the future.
Yeah.
Because I believe we're living in a moment of history. All history is history, but we're living in we're living at a pivot point where things are going to go one way or the other. I feel like we're on a knife edge right now.
Yeah.
So whichever way we do end up going, like, they're definitely going to look back at this point.
Yeah.
And so let's say there is an audience there in this, what we're talking about right here, and they're trying to understand what's going on. How would you summarize it from your perspective?
I think that this is actually what I think. I think this is actually what I think. I think that there was a generation of people who were aggrieved at liberal advances in the United States, and they were able to connect with each other. I think this is a group of people, some of whom have real grievances against liberal democratic politics in America, some of whom I think are genuinely unhinged, who all were able to connect with each other on social media. And because of those algorithms that created a weird self-reinforcing loop, American politics became completely deranged. I think that there's a genuine difference between British and American politics in this way. I think that, like, you know, you guys had a bit of it with Brexit and, you know, Nigel Farage and like this like far right party. There are people who are in that group that have genuine grievances that should be listened to. But there are also a whole bunch of other people in that group that cause their politics to become absolutely radicalized. And that happened in the United States for sure. And I think that's what happened. People in media studies in the future are going to be looking back, and I have a feeling whatever the thesis is that explains this moment will be pretty close to what I just said.
I also feel like when I look at the United States, you move a bit before us. You do something first. So what should we be learning from you right now? What should we be going, don't go there, don't do this. This was the moment where we should have chose differently.
Yeah, elect Count Binface. Just go to the polls and elect Count Binface. That's what I'm saying. What's in the Clapton or the Clapton?
Yes, that's it, Clapton. Yeah.
Farage, that's the next one.
Farage has tried to do this thing of grabbing some attention, and it's all back. At the moment, it looks like it's backfiring on him.
Well, it's like it's a scary. It's like it's funny that we're talking about the Fringe, but it's like the Fringe exists at the confluence of art, and part of the confluence of art is politics. And so it's funny because I think that we're caught in this moment where, and I think the UK is caught in it too, where there is a massive amount of money that is concentrated in an extremely small number of hands, and it's almost like a black hole, like it's warping space-time around it. Like the rules that normally we think of don't apply anymore, and the people who have that money know that. I mean, Elon Musk has gotten away with completely insane things in the United States in the world of politics he should have never gotten away with. And it's not politics as usual because of this point. The same thing is happening in the UK. Now, you guys have a number of different structures that kind of prevent some of the things that happen in the United States from happening here. I think part of it is like English constitutional tradition. I mean, just British constitutional tradition. Some of it is the laws that I think that like Citizens United in the United States allowed major amounts of dark money to come funneling through. I mean, like probably huge numbers of our elections are funded by China and Russia. I don't know that. I have no evidence to support that. But like, that's totally possible. And like, and in our media especially. And certainly Elon Musk did it. I mean, a court in the United States has decided Elon Musk did this illegally. So it's wild that that is coming for you guys.
I guess it's we should be looking at where is the money coming from and what is the agenda of that money.
Yeah.
Like follow the flow.
And I think also, I mean, just truthfully, you have to, what you guys are very good at, and we're not good at this at all in the United States, is that the British sense of humor doesn't allow people to take themselves too seriously. It just doesn't. But in America, self-righteousness is rewarded, right? I notice this even over here. Like, I as an American can come to people and be like, you should see this show, it's really good. And because I'm American, I can get away with that. If I was a British comic saying, see this show, it's quite good, people would be like, I'm not gonna see this show. But the truth of the matter is, like, you do have the ability to take people down a peg because of the sense of humor. I mean, just the fact that Count Binface is even in the election is amazing.
We're talking a lot about politics here. Your show talks about politics. I've got to say something to you, Brendon, that when I was watching your show tonight, I felt like I was at the beginning of something more for you.
Yeah.
I feel like your unique perspective of having that link here in Scotland, and obviously you're an American. I think you can take something back that looks at this world slightly differently than most can, and I look forward to seeing where you go with this.
I appreciate that. I hope not to jail.
Well, there is that. If I put this up online now, are you worried in any way that you won't be allowed back in?
I mean, I'm not worried that I won't be allowed back in. What I am a little bit worried about, and this is true, is like people have come to me and said, they're like, yeah, man, like you might lose opportunities to do stand-up because you're directly alienating a conservative audience. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not. I hope, part of it is I hope in the future that people realize, hey, we didn't need to be this divisive. Like, I think that in a way we have to be this serious because the stakes are very high. Like, I mean, there are people who are being taken off the streets of the United States. Renee Good, Alex Preddy, like there are people who, and more, who have been actually killed by ICE.
This is where I'd say that we're on a knife edge. This is where it's going to go in a particular dark direction if we accept the fact that we're being silenced.
Yeah.
If we accept the fact that we can't talk about certain types of politics. And that is a definite agenda that's being run from the top.
I should also say, I mean, like when it comes to the conservatives, man, and at least in the United States, like these are people who argued for years about free speech and about how they were like, the right to tell jokes, and it's like now I get on stage and I make some jokes about Trump and you guys can't handle it. Like how ironic, right? It's just it's ironic and it's disappointing because you guys argued so hard for being able to joke about anything. And I think that people should be allowed to joke about anything, especially if it's funny and especially if it's factual. So I don't know, man. Am I that worried about it? A little.
It's a concern, but I hope it never stops you, Brendon. I hope that, like I say, I feel like we're at the beginning of something that I'm interested to follow and hear your perspective.
Thanks, Martin. I really appreciate it, man.
Now, I know there's another show coming in here in a minute, so there is a little favour before we wrap this up that I've got to ask from you. So while I'm here at the Fringe, I'm on a little bit of a journey. And I'm asking everyone that I meet to help me with the question for the next guest, the next person that I speak to. So the person that I spoke to before I came in this room with you today, they asked me to ask you how the architecture has influenced you.
Oh, here in Scotland?
Here in Scotland, yeah.
Oh, man. That's actually a good question. Two ways. The first is, I mean, look at this room. Like, we're in the caves, basically, in the wee one, and it's like a little bit of, it's like doing stand-up inside of a big coffin, in a way.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely something you have to, like, overcome. Like, I almost have to be so present in the room that the audience, and so engaged that they're not paying attention to the noise coming through the wall, or, like, or the fact that we're in a cave.
Yeah, literally.
But also, I think like the city itself is just beautiful and amazing and inspiring, and like you get a sense of like time here, and like and because of the size of most of the venues, which are not terribly large, and everything is open to it. It's like I was just having a conversation with Jeff Asmus earlier today, very funny comedian who you should check out. It's like this could never happen in the States because everything would be too big. It would be too big, and it would be too. There would be too much corporate sponsorship, but like here in Scotland, it's actually more democratic. Like you go to Brass Monkey and do stand-up, do a show in a closet, max audience size 7. Like that's amazing. There is literally no spot you cannot do a show here.
Yeah, the first year I came here, I saw a show in an apartment, and the show was in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And we all stood around the door. Like every corner of this city has turned into a space for creativity.
It's amazing. So can I tell you the question I want you to ask?
Oh, that's exactly what I'd like, what I need.
So I'm very curious to know from whoever the next person is to interview, what is the truest thing that they were afraid to say in their show?
Like it. That's good. Well, thanks so much, Brendon. Thanks for
Martin.
sharing. And continue. Don't be afraid. Keep sharing. Keep making people laugh.
Thanks so much, man.
Appreciate it, mate.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good one.
Awesome, mate.